Senator Durbin, I want to pick up on this culture. Starting in 2010, a number of Democratic senators sent letters to the IRS asking them to investigate various groups that they said were seeking tax-exempt status but were improperly involved in politics. Now, in October of 2010, you sent a letter to the IRS in which you talked about going after groups. But you only mentioned one specifically by name, and I want to put up this from the October 2010 letter that you wrote to the IRS. One organization whose activities appear to be inconsistent with its tax status is Crossroads GPS. That, of course, the group co-founded by Karl Rove. Question, Senator, why single out Crossroads when you didn't mention a single liberal group, and there were a bunch that were applying for tax-exempt status at exactly that point with the name Progress in their names?
I could just tell you flat out why I did it, because that Crossroads organization was boasting about how much money they were raising as a 501c4. Let's get back to the basics. Citizens United really unleashed hundreds, if not thousands, of organizations seeking tax-exempt status to play in political campaigns. The law we wrote as Congress said that they had to exclusively be engaged in social welfare and not politics and campaigning. And so here is the IRS trying to decide whether or not these organizations really comply with the law. Crossroads was Exhibit A. They were boastful about how much money they were going to raise and beat Democrats with.
Senator Durbin, just briefly, why not, because we're now in the mess that we're in because of political targeting, why not send a letter that says go after any group of any political persuasion? Why not refrain from singling out a conservative group and never mention any liberal groups?
Well, I explained that once, Chris, but, you know, Karl Rove was making these boasts and saying he was going to raise so much money, millions of dollars. And I knew that if they went in to investigate this group, every other group would be put on notice. I've also said from the beginning, Chris, there is no basis for targeting within the IRS. What we basically need to say is all groups need to have the law applied to them equally. And in this situation, Karl Rove was front and center and proud of it. And that's why I mentioned his organization.